All right. Excuse me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever and wherever you may be watching this from. Woo! Today is what is today? Good gracious! I don't even know what date it is. It's the 25th of January, and I warned you. I warned you last year. I was like, January is coming. January is coming. I started telling you guys that in like August. Well, January is here, and guess what? July is coming. Okay, July is coming. And I want you guys to know that no matter what's going on, you have to prep because we're still headed into a food shortage. And now we have this new outbreak of flu that is hitting the world. Will it turn into World War Z? Will it turn into I Am Legend? I don't know. Will it wipe out half the planet? 90% of the planet? I don't know. But you know what? It's things like this is the reason why I prep, and I'm assuming why you prep. And it is situations like this why it is good for us to come in every Saturday morning and talk about prepping the way we do. Why? Because it keeps us on our toes, keeps us on the edge, keeps us, in the loop, in the link. Is it link? No, in the loop. So, good morning. Good morning. I came in a couple minutes early because I just wanted to give folks a chance to see it. A lot of people are like, "Hey, I don't get the notification," so I sent out an email this morning to try to make sure we get some of our regulars in. And as I was going through the emails, I was like, "Wow, it's a bunch of our regular folks that used to come in that don't come in anymore." I'm not gonna call them out, but no, I didn't hear about the Whole Food shortages. Whoa, what's going on? What's going on with Whole Food? Give me a summary of what's going on with that. Cause that sounds interesting. Cause that's where we do most of our shopping from. Whole Food. So I hadn't heard that, but thank you for bringing that to me. And while we're waiting on folks to come in, I'm gonna turn the camera and I'm gonna go check something real quick, make sure these folks are okay. Okay, please stay here. All right, so no, I hadn't heard anything about a whole food shortage. So let me know what's going on with that, Tara. Okay, cool. I should be able to monitor. So good morning. If you're coming in, if you're just not coming in, good morning, good morning, good morning. Apparently, their supplier of private label beans or lima beans, rice, and other grains and such close unexpectedly. It's going to take months to find a replacement. Also, they claim weather-related issues have caused them to have trouble getting lettuce and some other fresh produce items. Yeah, I didn't do any shopping this week. In the shopping I did, I just went into the stores and I got the stuff that we needed, right then and right there, and basically rolled out. This is something I did want to talk about. I didn't write it down, but while we're waiting on folks to come in, I'm gonna write down how much weight people have lost. Hopefully, I can catch it real quick. Private label means not name brand. Oh wow, okay, interesting, interesting, interesting. Well, thank you for bringing that. I hadn't heard that yet. And this week has been a little different for me. What did I do this week? I did a lot of stuff. I just um, prep stuff wasn't on the radar for me this week. Believe it or not, um, I like I told you guys when 2020 happened, I have become laser focused on, and y'all know I'm a transplant. I am really trying to get our income up this year to the point where we can make some moves. It is high time for the Chappelle household to start making some serious moves because we are just we've been I don't want to say we've been in the same um, predicament because we're always constantly evolving, we're always constantly moving. I missed that one. Who was that? That was John C. What was his weight? Oh my goodness, I got to go back through all of them. Good morning, Wolf Moon Hollow. All right, good morning to you. You like a new subscriber or a new potential subscriber. Don't know if you subscribed already, but welcome. Thank you for joining us. Here's the link to the art. Okay, thank you for posting that, Tara. This year's about getting my income up to. Yeah, I mean we've got to, because if we don't, Tara, we're gonna be in the same situation and predicament in 2021 as we are in 2020 if we don't do something now. And I've been working on some things here in the. I started probably back in July, just researching our next move and what we were going to do. Um, so I'm not playing around anymore. I'm really, really, really not playing around. And it is going into hyper gear, not even high gear, hyper gear. Um, yeah, because I'm not playing games. Because you know what? The world and what's going on in the world, they're not playing games. They are not messing around with this food shortage. And I'm glad you brought that in because that just brings more confirmation of what that's not George. That was who is George? George. Oh, George is gone. That was John V. I don't know why I wrote George's name down. All right, let's get started on our discussion. We've been messing around for about 7-8 minutes, just chit chatting. Let's talk about episode 9. This was a good episode to me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but this episode was really really good. So let's start out. Let's talk about the weight loss that these people have experienced. And I was talking to Jennifer about this morning. I have noticed, and you guys let me know if you noticed this as well. I noticed that during this experiment, the longer they're going into this experiment, the worse their decision making processes are happening or going. I don't even know how to describe it, but they're starting to make some really really bad decisions. And I noticed that without the food, without proper sanitation, they are starting to regress and revert back to a Neanderthal mindset. It's almost like instinct is taking over, but even though they're not liking their environment and the situation they're in, it's not like they're trying to do anything to improve it. And later on, I'm gonna explain what I'm talking about when we get to the where is it? Yeah, this was early on in the show, so we need to talk about that. Boom, started charging down. Okay, water. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, matter of fact, that's the next thing we're gonna talk about. All right, so John V. John V is our machinist. He has lost. Dang, did he lose 33 pounds? Okay, so John V lost 33 pounds. Morgan has lost 20 pounds. Mike has lost 23 pounds. Leilani has lost 15. Vladimir has lost 19. John C has lost 12. Joey has lost 4. Amy 4. Allison 7. Let's see here. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Christina. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Why do you guys think that some people have lost way more than other people as far as weight is concerned? Why do you guys think that? And for you guys that are prayer warriors and send out good feelings and good vibrations, and you send love to people, I need you guys to send love to Christina. Christina contacted me this week, and she's got some things going on. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I need you guys to keep her in prayer as well. Okay, sending you love, Christina. Love you. All right, so why do you guys think that some people have lost way more weight than? I mean, it's very simple. It's very easy to realize why. Men and bigger people tend to lose weight faster. Okay, so I can buy the bigger people lose weight faster, but how do you okay, Joey only lost 4 pounds. John V lost 33. Vladimir's lost 19. So those are three different guys that have lost three different sets of weight. Okay, yeah, I know they're needed, sweetheart, because most people eat to maintain their weight. If you eat more, usually you will lose weight. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys, real simple. It's very very simple. Everybody's different. Everybody's makeup is different, but like who said it? Tara, like Tara said, the bigger you are, the faster you're gonna lose weight. It's just the bottom line. When I was at 260, 270, and we first went through the weight loss challenge that we went through, I was dropping weight at a remark, and I can even go into a fast right now, and I've seen myself do it. I'll eat, put on a bunch of weight, and then overnight I'll fast, and within 2 days I've lost like 9 pounds, and I would average anywhere between 2 to 3 pounds a day after that. Okay, once your body gets into a ketosis state where it's constantly burning, and with these folks, they're not getting the calories, which for some of them it's not a bad thing. Okay, because to only lose, listen to this, to only lose 33 pounds. Now that's the highest weight loss that we experienced. That was John B. To only lose 33 pounds in 56 days, they've been taking in some calories. Okay, do not think for 1 second that these people are not eating, because they are. They're eating. They're not starving. They're eating. You know how I know when I'm in heavy ketosis, Tara? When I can feel my stomach start to shrinking and start to burn fat, I know I'm in heavy ketosis. Hadn't experienced that in quite some time, and I jumped on the scale this morning. I was like, "Oh, it's time for me to start doing something." I've gotten all the way up to 205, which is the heaviest I've been in 12 months. Okay, I was like, "Oh, that's it." I crossed that 200 barrier like 2 weeks ago, and I just kept going. But now it's time to get back, trying to go back down. I've had my fun. Now I got to pay the piper. All right, so yeah, these folks in 56 days, if they were starving, they'd be losing a pound or two a day. Okay, a pound or two a day. Joy has pretty much maintained. Joy, Amy, and Allison. Joy, Amy, and Allison are still in the single digits as far as weight loss. Joy, Amy, and Allison still in single digits. They haven't lost. The most anybody out of that group has lost is 7 pounds, and that's Allison. All right. So let me see here. I've had keto flu bad for the past week. Headache, nausea. That's detox. That's gonna happen, Tara. That's detox. Just keep getting your water in. The more water you get in, the least your symptoms will bother you, or the less your symptoms will bother you. I weighed 124.2 pounds the other day. Good for you, Christina. Feeling a bit better today. Good. I'm almost twice that, Christina. Me too. I'm almost twice that, but it's okay because we're doing something about it. So yeah, don't feel sorry for these folks because they have been eating. Okay, because if they weren't, they'd be way smaller than they are. And you can look at them and you can tell. They show the before and then they show the after appearances of them. Most of them need to lose some weight. Okay, most of them need. All right, let's see here. Bicycling and swimming are great for getting in shape. Yes, they are. And I was looking at my bike the other day. I was like, I need to get my butt on this bike and do the do. Which I mean, we've had some really nice days too. It's no excuse and no reason why I haven't been cycling. But hey, laziness, busyness, other things. All right, let's talk about their water levels. Let's talk about their water levels. Now we know on this channel that water is life, and when John C did an inventory of water and they only had 18 gallons of water. 18. Listen to this. 18 gallons of water for 10 people. How and why did they let their water levels get so far down? They're only 300 yards from the river. They have a trike that they took out last week and went to the trailer park and got beat up. Why didn't they take the same trike and go to the river last week and replenish their water? What are these folks thinking? And that goes back to what I said in the beginning when we first started. I believe that these folks, as a group mentality, are starting to revert back to Neanderthal thinking, which is crazy. I'm like, what are you thinking? You got to have water to survive, which means, and John C. even said it. He's like, we haven't been using water. We've been rationing. We've been licking our plates clean. How can you lick a plate clean? Isn't that an oxymoron? We have a pool at my apartment complex, but we don't go because, well, people. 18 gallons of water isn't much for that many. 18 gallons of water is not that. It's not that much for one person. Even if you ration, that's only going to last you 18 days. And you're talking about 10 people. That's crazy. That's only 2 days worth of water. That's what I was wondering. They should have gotten more water a long time ago. They should have been going for more water at least once or twice every week. I agree with you. And they built this huge shower. And if they only have 18 gallons of water, they haven't been showering. That's why Morgan's like, we all stink. Y'all, hold on. Let me go check something real quick. Y'all can watch me. All right. Just had to check on my folks, make sure they're doing well, doing good. So, yeah, they haven't been drinking enough water, which means that when you don't drink enough water, you start getting mental fog. Okay, okay. This is what has happened to me when I went on extended fast. The first 3 or 4 days is wonderful. If you can get to day 4, you can pretty much get to day 40. Okay, because the first 3 days are the hardest. I'm talking about just water. First 3 days are the hardest. If you can get past the first 3, it pretty much is downhill from there. The only time you'll break your fast if you're not locked in is out of boredom, basically. So what I noticed, without food for the first week, you have mental clarity. Okay. Once you go about day 20, day 21, I'm talking about with no food, you start getting this mental fog where it's like you are a few seconds slower than you normally would be. It takes you a little bit longer to process. And I don't know if you guys remember a couple of episodes ago, John C was saying the same. He was saying that he was like, I'm getting this mental fog where I'm just a little slower than I normally am, and that's normal when you're reducing your calories over a long period of time. So, kidneys will have issues when you don't have water, and true, and plus put strain on your heart. Very true. Oops, I've got to go. Thank you for letting me listen for a few minutes. And Jordan, we'll come back if we can. All right, thank you. We'll be here a while. Wolf Moon, we'll be here. We'll be here a while talking about this. So my thing is, you have all of this technology that you have built. Instead of going out last week looking for food, I really cannot believe that these people didn't go to the river. And I mean, because it makes it easy with the trike, because you can set up the little trailer on the back, and even if you got to make 4 or 5 trips, I mean, boom, it's not costing you anything but energy, and you're not dragging this water back like you used to. Okay, so I'm not really understanding what they were thinking. I'm not sure if the producers were like, "Hey, in this week you can't go get water." I mean, because we never know. We don't know why, but for the people that are in this group, as smart as they are, to allow the water levels to get down to 18 gallons, I'm thinking that there had to be some kind of outside influence that was causing them to do that. What do you guys think? Why do you think that they let their water levels go so low? Their access to the river being blocked sucked, but they could have talked to marauders or climbed the wall or something. Hey, Tara, think about this. They're on a trike, which means that's like a really quick, fast motorcycle. Why didn't they take their little happy hips down the river, like 500 yards, a mile? Why didn't they just drive down further and go get water? In my opinion, first and foremost, and I've been telling you guys this for probably 12 weeks now. First and foremost, 2 things that I see these people constantly don't have enough of: Number one, they should have a sentry walking the roof all the time, at least when the sun is out. Because I cannot understand for the life of me how they keep allowing people to come bang on their door and they don't know that people are coming to bang on that door. Okay, that really it has aggravated me because if I'm in this situation, I don't want any surprises, especially somebody coming and banging on the door. I want to know when somebody is approaching. Okay, and it's gonna come into play later. And I have been consistent with this the whole time we've been watching this. I'm like, I do not understand why these people do not take security more serious. All right, cool. I think they should have found another way to get the water. Yeah, go around those people. I don't know why they did. I don't know why they didn't either. I think they're confined to the city block for the show. I agree, but it's still. I mean, if one way is blocked and we don't get it in editing, we don't know. I'm sure they could have gone down to another path and gone to the river. I'm sure of that. They never have a lookout. It's bizarre. Even Vlad hasn't thought of that. I know it isn't that crazy. This is 9 weeks. I'm sorry, this is 9 episodes. We're on day 56. That means they've been in here over a month, and in 4 days it's going to be like 2 months. And you mean to tell me that in 2 months of attacks, of having food stolen, of having things damaged, you mean to tell me y'all have not thought of having somebody on lookout and on watch? You could use Amy. Amy don't do nothing. We finally found out she can bake bread. Whoop-de-doo. Why doesn't Amy carry her happy hips on top of the building and walk around the building, or just sit? I mean, because they have such good engineering. Why don't they build something like a lookout tower on top of the building so you can see all around the building, 360 degrees all the time? Why didn't they do something like that? Anyway, that's just been bothering me. Okay, why do you think they allowed their these are questions I wrote down. Why do you think they allowed their water levels to go so low? Why not go further down the river? What would you have done? And I'm assuming you guys would have done the same thing, gone down a little bit further, go get water. That's why I don't believe the psychologists that said they thought it was real. If they thought it was real, they would have taken water and security a lot more seriously. You know what? That's a good point, Tara. I hadn't looked at it that way. Um, and maybe they're just scared. I don't know. I've never been in this situation before. I wish they were still doing it. I would definitely volunteer. I would love to go on this show. This is one I would definitely do. Um, I can definitely see me leaving my family to go do this right here. Definitely. All right, so let's talk about this truck build. They're starting to build a new gasifier for the truck. Great idea or not? I thought, and this is just me thinking, I thought they probably could have taken the solar panels and done something with the solar panels. Um, maybe they didn't figure out a way, and I'm sure they thought about it. Maybe they couldn't figure out a way to convert the solar energy into car energy or whatever. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I thought I thought that was something that they could have looked at. I mean, they got the gasifier. I mean, that's they know how to do that technology. You know, they reverted back to something that they know works, which is fine. Let's see here. They think they still think your shoulder brush even saved them. Well, we found out with Joy that's not true. They let that dude suffer for like 3 4 days. Just like people think the government will save them in SHTF. Yeah, that's funny. Good luck with that. All right, so we got the gasifier going. Let's talk about starting the truck. Now, what kind of sense did it make? You guys tell me if I'm wrong. What kind of sense did it make to start a truck inside the place you live? I thought that they should have pushed it. If they was going to start that truck up and let it run for 20 or 30 minutes, I thought they should have. I thought it would have been wise to push the truck outside and started up outside. I thought that would have been the most wise thing to do. What say you about the truck and started up in your building where you live and letting out all these toxic fumes where you live and then opening up the whole entire building to the street? What say you about that? Whole entire building to the street. Crazy. What say you about that? That's interesting. Whole entire building. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I got something in my throat this morning. Be careful. Okay, I bet the truck made them complacent. They think they're about to leave, so water wasn't as much of a priority. I can see that. That is how people die. Carbon monoxide. True. People just aren't very smart. I'm not sure if it's people aren't very smart or because of the situation they're in, they're just doing dumb things. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one it is, Christina. Because you can't make me believe that all those scientists and all those engineers around co-signed starting up the truck and running the truck inside of the building for 20 or 30 or 40 minutes. That could have killed all of them. I mean, even though they were airing out the building, it still could have killed them after they stopped the truck from running, closed up the building. They still could have died. Anyway, they didn't even stop to think that if something went wrong with the truck, they had no plan B. At least Mike fixed the other vehicle. Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that other vehicle. And that's a good point, Tara. What if while running the truck caught on fire? That could have potentially burned down their whole warehouse. Okay. Booksmart in the same as common sense. Very true, Christina. Very, very true. So, I thought starting the truck up on the inside was just dumb. I thought opening up your building while the truck was started was dumb. And it was proven because guess who shows up again? Andre. Andre shows up while the truck is running, while the building is open, and guess what he did? He not only took 16 cans of food from them, which is extremely precious right now. All right? Extremely precious. And in that situation, you're talking about 16 cans, that's a good, in this case, that's probably like, for these folks, that's like two meals. If they stretch it out, 3 or 4 meals, right? That's a lot of food in this situation. A lot. Right now for you and I, it's not a lot. But in this situation, 16 cans of food, you could ration that out, give one person a can per day, and that's going to stretch out at least a day and a half, maybe. I mean, that's a lot of food. Andre could have come in and stolen it. Yeah. 16 cans was huge. They only had 5 days of food. Yeah. And after that, they only had like 3 days of food. If you do the math. Or let's say he stole a whole day's worth of food. That's believable. Right? So they went from 5 days of food down to 4 days of food. Yeah, that means all around, I just thought that whole truck situation could have been handled so differently. You could have had everybody push their truck outside, run that truck outside, and had a security detail outside, which brings me back to perimeters. I said this in episode 1. I don't think I have the drawing, but I drew the warehouse out on episode 1. I didn't do a review today either. We'll do it next week. Next week is our last week of the Colony season 1. And to be honest with you, I've gotten a little tired of them. I'm a little tired of them because they're just doing dumb stuff now. Yeah. Anyway, like I told you guys before, I would have had a perimeter outside of the building where just anybody could not have just gotcha. Where anybody just could not have just rolled in and just knocked on the door. I just would not have had that. Here's our intruder every Saturday. He comes in. So let's see here. We talked about the truck. Let's talk about. Okay, did you notice the lesson on making? Oh, did y'all notice the lesson on making soap that was brought to you by your friendly Walmart. I thought that was a great addition to the show. I thought it was amazing that they did something like that, where they actually taught how to make soap. And another, hey, New Horizon, um, I thought that was a something good that I saw, and I thought going forward and moving forward, that would be a great little nuance that's a part of the show. Every episode they can be like, okay, hey, if you find yourself in this situation, this is important. This is how you do it, and they could do that for every episode. What's that?
Check this out before
Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay. Good Lord, that thing huge.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. All right, so listen. How many of you guys thought that was a great point? Something awesome, a lesson to learn. What do you guys think about that? Okay, that little soap making thing brought to you by Walmart. I have a new friend who makes soap. It's her business. That's cool. Nothing like having somebody who knows how to make soap. It's not. I mean that, like they said in the show, for basic cleanliness, how can you go wrong with soap? And yeah, when you got somebody who's making it and they're doing it for. I have a soap maker also, and she makes these amazing soaps. And they are, and I buy soap from them all the time. It was all right. All right. Why just all right? And do you mean all right as far as good, or all right like it was okay? They could have done something else or whatever. I thought it was an amazing idea. I thought it was awesome. But if you guys don't think so, please explain why. Okay. All right, let's go to the next point. I think there's a really long delay this morning. Okay, we talked about security. I'm going to talk about security again. I think especially at this point in time, security is more important now than ever before, because you can almost kind of sense that they feel that an attack is imminent. Andre keeps coming back. He keeps threatening them. Okay, that's number one. They can't get to the river now because of what they call marauders being in the way. But you know what? Think about it like this. Who's really the marauders here? Who's really the marauders? Because every time something happens to our colonists, it's usually a retaliation to something that they've done. Have y'all noticed that? They went out and they they raided those guys that were staying in the tent. They stole their goats, their chicken, and we haven't heard about the goats and the chicken lately. Did they eat them? Are they still, are they still getting egg? Are they still getting goat's milk? Are they still doing it, or did they eat them? All right. Wish they'd given specific rations. It was all right. There's no way you should be rumbling truck inside the building. It would attract attention. Then by the time you get outside, everyone know where you become vulnerable. Okay, so you saying, okay, I'm gonna reread it. There's no way you should have a rumbling truck inside the building. It would attract attention. Then by the time you get outside, everyone known where you become vulnerable. Okay, I mean I can see. Yeah, no problem. We were looking for you, Kev H. No problem for being late, brother. If I had to look up information like that, they might as well not have included the instructions and just shown them making it. Okay, they didn't give the group of people food for the children, so maybe that's why the river got blocked. That's a good point. And I say, I've been saying it this whole time. They keep calling the outsiders marauders. They're the real marauders. Okay, they are the real true marauders. And I agree with you. Maybe their water supply got blocked because they did not help that group. And if you think about it, the only people that have really come by asking for help, you had those two guys that came by asking for help. Then you had that group of like 9 asking for help. Even the people that they met at the river, they didn't ask them for anything. They asked them. They asked them about giving help, but they didn't ask them for help. So we really only had like 11 people to come by, maybe asking for help. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but every time they start running low on supplies, now and I'm sure this is by design. Every time they start running low on supplies, they either have some kind of raid that they set up where they go to the hospital and they get stuff, or they go out and they forage and they get stuff, or they or Joe the trader comes by. They set it up where these people are not going to get down to zero. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but they've set that up. That's a great point, Tara. They didn't give food to those children, which I thought that was kind of shady. To be honest with you, I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I'd have been able to do that. I'm not sure if I'd have been able to do that. So let's talk about security. We just had Andre to show up, and of course, we don't know the chain of events. We don't know how editing is. We don't know if it happened. I'm assuming Andre showed up first, and then Liz showed up, but we don't know. We don't know for certain if Liz showed up first or if Andre showed up first. We don't know if the truck incident was before this or after this. Well, you know what? It was after, because Joey kept saying, "Hey, when we have something like this, we always went into lockdown." So this Liz showing up after Andre was the events. Okay, that was the way it happened. How do you guys feel about Liz showing up, asking for arms, asking for help? How would you have handled that? How would you personally, Tara, Knife Collector, Kev H, Christina? How would you have handled Liz showing up right after the Andre incident? Yeah, it's definitely set up that way. Okay, good. They gave away all those oranges to the trader because they were supposedly so many more, but then they never went back to get more. I was just wow. I mean, I thought about the same thing. I thought about the same exact thing. I'm like, if you had so much, I would have said this ain't Burger King. Okay, I mean, I can see that, Christina. It would have been hard for me personally. It would have been hard for me to turn her away, knowing she was by herself. It also would have been extremely difficult for me to know that she had been there and she had stolen. And also, you guys remind me when we started talking about Joey and this hidden stuff. And I noticed something with Allison. In every situation, Allison always used the term hit. Hit. Okay? Because when Liz showed up, Allison was like, just tell her to use her fist like she did on me. And I went back and I looked at the video. I didn't see Liz hit her at all. Just like I did not see Joey hit Amy when he was pushing her back inside the warehouse. So, two questions. Number one, what would you guys have done with Liz? And then two, which is coming later, about Allison. Would you guys have given her anything? Would y'all have given Liz anything? And would you have, once you got the knife back that she had stolen from Vladimir, would you have given her another knife? Okay. Now, Leilani, I believe Leilani is just an awesome person in general. Okay. And I'm glad she was the one that was negotiating with Liz, because had it been anybody else, she probably wouldn't have gotten anything. Maybe Joey. Joey seemed like he was being a little soft-hearted about with her. But I think Joey literally down on the inside, I think he likes Liz, and I think he likes Andre deep down, because he sees their scrappers. He sees that they will do anything to survive. I think Joey likes that. Okay. I think they handle Liz pretty well overall. I wouldn't have just sent her away because she had that sentimental knife. They gave her just enough to get the knife back. Okay. I would have given her another knife, yes. A woman alone, assuming Andre had left her, which you'd have to assume was a possibility, would need protection. Yeah. I mean, all that's true. I got mixed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got mixed emotions about all of it. Um, and then it brings me to another security violation or a security event. Right after Liz leaves, quote unquote leaves, Amy and Morgan decide to go finish baking bread, which I thought was an amazing idea. I'm like, hey, if you're baking bread, that's great. We need to eat. Great, awesome. However, why did they have the building shut down? It's almost like they're in a corner and they're just scared. Which brings me to another point about security. Whenever you, and I said this early on, whenever one person goes outside, I thought and I think that there should be 2 to 3 that go outside with them. And if you're baking bread, what was wrong with Amy staying out there watching her bread? What was wrong with Morgan? They weren't doing Morgan, Amy, Allison, Diane. The women really aren't doing anything right now. The men are working on the truck, and yeah, they're helping. Okay, they're helping, but as far as security is concerned, I really think, I mean, because in my opinion, bread is a priority right now. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Bread is a priority. And even though we had a security breach or some security violation or whatever, if you're going to open up that door and you thought it was enough, you thought it was important enough to set up coals and to bake bread, I think it's I think it's important enough to sit there and make sure the bread is secure. That's my belief level. What do you guys think? That's true. Diane was help making that gasifier. True. I thought it was a terrible idea to bake the bread at the time, given Andre and Liz had already come around. Okay. Granted, she could have ended up using it on them, but she already had one before that, so it didn't really change the situation. Talk about the knife. Okay. So you thought it was a bad idea to bake bread. Okay. All right. So let's take a vote on that. Let's see how many folks thought it was a good idea to bake bread in that situation. Maybe not in that situation. I don't know. Hey, I'm like, hey, we're not gonna waste these coals. We're gonna bake this bread. I just would have made sure we had resources out there that were going to protect the bread. All right, so let's see here. Baking bread. Baking bread. Yes or no? All right, now we're voting on baking bread in that situation. After Andre had showed up, after Liz has shown up, baking bread in this situation, vote now. Yes or no? But the other girls could have gone together to babysit the bread. They should have done that. Okay, cool. All right, y'all vote now. And I'm going to go to the other screen so I can actually watch it in true time. All right, so we got one no for no bread. They could have made, what's that, Nahavo? Fried bread inside safely. That's assuming they had oil. All right. Christina says, I don't know. There's no such thing as I don't know, Christina. You got to vote either yes or no. All right. It's no I don't knows. You got to vote now. We're voting as a team. Are we voting yes or are we voting no? There is no I don't know. And whoever else is on here, the situation is we had Andre to show up, we had Liz to show up. Um, One was a security breach, the other one was just asking for help. These two people that came around before and they didn't mean us any good. And yeah, so having known that information, Christina said, "Did I say yes?" All right, so you got one no, one yes. All right, so Kevin says no. I'm voting yes. I would have done it a little different way. I would have made sure we had resources out there protecting the bread. And if anyone else showed up, I threatened to eat them. That wasn't part of the vote, Christina, but okay. I'm just messing with you. Is it you, Christina, or is it Tara that's always talking about eating somebody every week? One of y'all is always talking about eating somebody. Maybe it's you, Christina, because Christina's just like we gonna eat. We're just gonna eat anybody that comes around. Oh my goodness, that's too funny. Laugh out loud, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's too funny right there. All right, so we're tied. We have two for yes and two for no as far as baking the bread. All right, so we'll leave it at that. All right, let's talk about Morgan and Amy opening the door. Let's see here. They said they didn't want to risk losing the coals, which I can totally understand. Joey got set off. I'm gonna tell y'all what set Joey off. I had never seen Joey get this angry before, but if you go back and watch it, Joey caught an attitude with Amy because Joey was like, "Hey, when you're doing stuff like this, and you're putting my safety at risk. First of all, let some other folks know with a weapon." And she started laughing at him. He said, he's like, "Don't laugh at me." He took so much offense to that about her laughing about him making a big deal about security. And then the very prediction that he made, what happened? 5, 10 minutes later, Liz jumps the wall. She reaches off in there, grabs the bread, takes off running. No bread for anybody. I was told it was totally unacceptable for Joey to push Amy. I understand why he did, but it was wrong. But Allison saying over and over he hit Amy and then doubling down after Amy said he didn't. Okay, I agree. It was totally unnecessary for him to even touch her at all. She was already walking into the building. He didn't have to take her in because it was really more of like a backhand push, and then she jumped back in his face, which was great. Now Amy is a veteran. And she's been useless and worthless this whole time. But Amy's kind of a badass, you know what I'm saying? She jumped right back at Joey, and then Morgan got involved, and then Allison gets involved. I wanted to smack Allison so bad. It was the way she was saying it. Um, and I can understand because there have been several times in this season where we all have felt uncomfortable, and I'm sure you guys have felt it, and you felt the actors or you felt the people feel uncomfortable around each other, especially with Mike in the beginning. And we're gonna talk about Mike because Mike came and saved the day. All right, but yeah, I totally agree. He didn't have to touch her at all in that instance. He didn't have to grab her. He didn't have to push her. He definitely didn't hit her. I did not see a hit. Now, when he pushed her in, the camera angle changes. You can see Amy jumping him. Now, from that point of view, it's unclear what happened, but I can't see him hitting her. Okay. Let me see here. In a crisis situation and you're trying to survive, pleasantries are out the window. Mm, I say yes and no, Kev H. After Andre showed up, I think it took Joey to another level of insecurity. I don't think he brought everybody else up with him. I think it was a lack of communication. Again, a lack of communication. It was a deflection, not a strike. I didn't see it. He did slightly smack her hands when she came in. Okay, I mean, I can see him kind of defending himself like that, and I can see how if that happened, I can see how Allison would have interpreted that as a hit. But it all came down to one, they should not have been outside in the first place. Two, if they were outside, they should have stayed outside with some kind of security detail to watch their bread. And Joey made the prediction that she was going to jump that wall and get that bread. Because remember, starving, hungry people can smell for miles away. So I thought it was a bad decision on his part to lock the door right behind them. And if nothing else, I thought Amy and Morgan, since they were so concerned about bread, which I agree with the bread baking, I think they should have stayed right there at the door. If they weren't going to stay outside, they should have stayed at the door so that if anybody came over that wall, they could have at least screamed. Because I don't know if you guys notice or not, but every time Andre's around, Liz around, or somebody's around, they're trying to do something real quick and then leave. If they had been watching the whole entire time, even if they had been sitting out there in their lawn chairs getting some sun, I don't think they would have gotten their bread stolen. My opinion. Joe is absolutely right that they should not have opened the door without security. Now I totally agree with that. Totally agree. And since he's in charge of security, they should have gone to him first and be like, "Hey, we got these coals, out here burning. We want to finish baking this bread." Matter of fact, that should have been a group decision, okay? Because now, and like Joy said, you're putting my safety at risk. They put everybody's safety at risk. Because what if Liz was a distraction, and there was 10 or 12 people that were trying to get them or trying to get in? Okay, so I agree. I mean that whole entire situation was just, it was wrong for me. Okay, Joey said what would happen. He was justified. They didn't. Why didn't they keep watch? Okay, these are just things I wrote down. Why don't they have someone always on security? Which brings me back to security. There should never be anything that happens around that building that you, now granted, you can't watch everything. You can't be on, I mean, you can be on security 24/7, but things still happen. I would feel more comfortable, like I keep telling you guys, or like I've been saying in the beginning, during the daytime they need to have somebody up top watching the perimeter. At nighttime they should have two people inside watching the perimeters on the inside. It just, I mean, I guess because I'm prior military, I guess it's embedded in me and engraved in me to be secure. And Jennifer will tell you, at our house, we have gotten into it, but we have said some words to each other over security. Prime example, we have this back door that I installed. It's a doggy door. Okay, I didn't want to put it in, but I weighed security over convenience. Convenience won in that case. And the only stipulation to me putting in this doggy door was that Jennifer keeps it locked at all times when the main door is open. Because I believe in layers of security. At every door in my house, there is a storm door. Okay, that stays locked when we're in the house, 24/7. And the times I have come home and I hit that key and that thing is unlocked, I have lit into Jennifer. The time that she's let the dogs out in the back and she forgot to lock the door, I have lit into her to the point where I could be in the backyard, standing right there in front of her, working in the backyard. She would go into the house and lock the door behind her. It aggravates me, but you know what? I appreciate that level of security that she now has, because I would much rather be outside and the door is locked and she's safe than for us both to be inside and the door is unlocked and somebody walk right in. Just is what it is. Okay. They should make a rule that nobody opens the door without consulting with Joey, Mike, or Vlad first, including Joey, Vlad, and Mike. I agree. I agree. I agree. There should never be one person alone open the door ever. I agree with that too. I think opening a door should be like open the bank safe at the bank. I think it should be security there. I think it should be multiple people there. I mean, because, and I think there should be, and again, there should be some kind of look at. And I know they can get to the roof. I'm sure they can get to the roof from the inside. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm fairly sure. Okay, cool. All right, so we beat that dead horse. All right, so Joy blows up, rightfully so, or not justified. Because I mean, Joy took some punch. I mean, he threw some punches. My friend Nana Cease used to leave her doors unlocked, and she had a male fan enter her home one day without knocking. She didn't get hurt, but she still left her doors unlocked after that. Wow, that's interesting. So the question I have for you is, when Allison started when Allison started chastising, I'll use that word, Joey, about that Amy situation, was Joey's blow up justified? or did he go too far? Vote now. All right. Joey. Outburst. We'll just say his outburst. How about that? Joey's outburst. Yes or no? Yes, he was justified, or no, he was not. All right, vote now. Vote, y'all. Come on, vote, 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 vote. Yes, his blow up was definitely justified on all accounts. So I got one yes. Got two yeses. People don't know what real abuse is. All right, Christina. I agree with that, but what is your vote? Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. If you have to come back and apologize about things you just said before, are you justified? Okay, justified. And I'm gonna vote against y'all. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna be the only one that votes no on this one. I believe he was totally out of line. He was right on everything he was saying. The way he came across, the way he got in Morgan's face. That's what did it for me. I was like, oh man, this dude is totally out of control. When he told Morgan she was a 23-year-old bleepity bleep, no world knowledge having bleep, I was like, oh my God. Yes, you can apologize for the way you acted, even if you were justified. Okay. I can agree with that too. I try to live my life to the point where, and it's hard. And in this situation, I might have blown up the same way. I try to live my life to the point where I choose my words correctly, where I don't have to come back and apologize. And I have to apologize a lot about things that I mean to say. It's just sometimes the way people take them. And I've had to apologize on here to some people, the way people take it, sometimes you have to apologize. But I think Joey blowing up was a good thing for the team. I think he was a bit harsh on Morgan. I think he was totally justified with what he said to Allison. Totally justified. Because like he said when they first got into it, he was like, I agree with everything you said, except take hit out of what you're saying, and I agree with you. And she wouldn't. She doubled down, like Tara said, she doubled down on what she was saying earlier. Okay. All right. So I voted on this one. No problem. And then he cursed everybody out. He was going off. He was kicking stuff, throwing stuff. Joey went slam off on everybody. I was like, okay, Joey. Joey even scared me, and I wasn't even there. I was like, oh my God, Joey's about to freaking snap and kill everybody or something. So, in that situation, what would you guys have done with Joey? Would y'all have sided with Joey, or would y'all have wanted to kick him out the colony? I've been dying to ask y'all that question all week, but it seemed like since y'all agree he was justified, y'all would just been like, because John C was like, hey, he was justified what he's saying. I agree, but we can't make it without Joey, basically. Kev says, I related this situation to the Blackout movie you listed. When the daughter's boyfriend gave up their food to strangers, oh my God, look what happened in that situation. The kid was held at gunpoint. That made me so furious. Oh my God, that made me so furious, Kev H. And here in 2 weeks, we're gonna do American Blackout, and as a review, that scene right there, it would have been hard for me not to shoot him. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. It would have been very hard for me not to shoot him. Side with him, okay. I would have calmed him down and told him he was right, but he was overreacting. Yeah, I think he was overreacting, a lot. Not even a little bit, a lot. All right, cool. All right, so we beat Joey dead horse. All right, let's talk about Joe the Traitor. Joe the Traitor comes back, and Joey goes out to negotiate with Joe the Traitor. Now, this is the time frame I don't know. And you can tell in this whole entire episode, Joey was just on edge, period. I mean, even when they interviewed him in the beginning of the episode, he was on edge. He was tired of this situation. He was tired of dealing with these people. Um, and we don't know if Joe the Trader came by before or after Andre and Liz. Now that I know we don't know. We don't know what point in time Joe the Trader came by. We are assuming that he came by after we couldn't get to the river, after Andre, after Liz. We're assuming that, but we don't know that for certain. Okay? Because what if Joe the Trader had come by first, and that's how we were able to start up the truck? That's how we were able to start up the Ranchero. That's how we had 18 gallons of water. Hmm. Had you guys thought of that? Allison using her blonde power was pretty distasteful. I can't stand women who think they can get anything they want just because they think they're attractive. I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about it. Well, we're gonna vote on blonde power because that was something I wanted to talk about, but I didn't write it down. I don't think I could dislike Allison any more than I already did, but she did a great job making that happen. Why? Because she went out and gave the guy a kiss for some peanut butter? Why? Because, okay, all right. Does anybody else feel that way? Because I thought it was amazing. And I've been saying for years, if I was a woman, I'll be good. Okay, because I would just be batting them eyes and be like, oh yeah, because I know being a man, um, what it's like to. I'm a sucker for the damsel in distress. Okay, I'm the knight in shining armor all the time. Okay, so I hate it too, but sometimes you have to use things to your advantage, even if you hate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Allison didn't go into this wanting to. Then again, she's been such a prissy girl this whole time. She's the only person that was making like girly girl clothes and talking about makeup and everything. So she is one of those people. But I thought it was amazing for her to use her blonde power. And if you notice, Joe the Trader was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do something for somebody I like." So I think it was some flirty back and forth between Allison and Joe the Trader. Anyway, okay. So do y'all think she should have yes used her blonde powers or no not use her blonde powers? I mean, because it wasn't like she slept with Joe the Trader. She just gave the man a kiss on the cheek, maybe a pat on the behind or something. I don't know. We don't know what happened. I have special skills in aggressive situation. I am a mental terrorist. I break them down. People like her to brag about how they can use their blonde power are the same type of people who sit back and let everyone else do their job because they can. She could have been raped. In that situation, I'm not sure about that, Christina. Use them, sure. Brag, no. Um. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Listen. Vote. Vote with just right now. Vote simply with a yes or a no. I need you guys to just vote. All right. So Kev H, are you voting no? All right. So listen. From this point down, because I'm getting conflicted here. From this point down, y'all just say yes or no. She should have or she should not have used her blonde powers, and and that was self-proclaimed blonde powers to get the peanut butter. All right, I'm gonna say yes because I was like, that was hey, use what you got. Okay, so y'all vote right now. Either yes, just type in yes or no because I need a vote now, and then you guys can tell me what y'all thought. All right, so Tara says yes. All right. What's the question is, should Allison have used her blonde power to get anything? Or no, she should not have. It's hard to say. If she didn't have to, I would say no. If there was no other way, then yes. Kev H, can, just vote either yes or no, brother. Because you giving me two votes. You can't have two votes. All right, Christina says no. Just give me a yes or a no. And I know it's hard to say for some of you guys. I'm like straight up, hey, yes. Okay, use what you got. You cute. All right, so we got two yeses and two no. So we split down the middle. No problem. All right. Why don't they? Okay. These are some things I wrote down. We've already talked about it, but these are things I wrote down about Joe the Trader. Why don't they know before someone knocks on the door? Because they don't have a sentry watching. Okay. Negotiations go south with Joey. Why? We don't know if this was before or after Andre Liz. We talked about that. Mike stepped in. Oh my God. Mike stepped in, stepped up, took charge, sent Joey away, and pretty much got everything on the truck for 2 solar panels. What do you guys think of that? Let's vote about Mike. Was Mike? Oh, okay. Let's vote about MVP this week. All right. Let's do our MVP votes right now. Who was the MVP this week? And the running candidates are Mike with his negotiation skills, Mike with getting the ranchero up and running, Joy with security, Allison with her blonde powers, or oh goodness, I believe using it was fine because they really needed more calories, but for her to brag about it, it just made me ill. I didn't really have a problem with her bragging about it, you know. It made her seem really conceited. Yeah, Mike was an all-star. Mike hands now. Okay, so we got one vote for Mike. I'd have to give runner up to Morgan. Why would you give runner up to Morgan? What did she do this week? I didn't really see her do much other than help with the gasifier and help Amy get some bread stolen. And okay, and Leilani. I forgot about Leilani because Leilani showed great heart. She gave Liz her water. Okay. She stepped in twice to ask people to argue later. Oh, she did do that, which gave people time to calm down. I forgot she was doing that. She did. All right, so we got 2 votes for Mike. You know what? Morgan did show great maturity there. She was like, "Hey, you know what? Things have happened already. You know what? Just get back to work. Get back to work." I have forgot. Kev said Liz. You know what, Kev? You're right, because she came to the colony. She got water. She got another weapon. She got food. So, hey, I almost have to agree with you on that, but I'm gonna give my vote to Mike. So we got 3 votes Mike, 1 vote Liz as as our MVP, and I have to give. I got one runner up as Morgan, and I'm definitely giving my runner up vote to Liz, the bread snatcher. Yes, because that was amazing. Oh my God! All right, so Joey came back and apologized. Do you guys think that was helpful to the group? Or do you think if he had just kept on going um, with being a jerk or being stubborn or whatever, do you think it would have been hurtful to the group? What do you guys think? I think it was helpful that he came back and apologized. It seemed like it helped morale. It boosted morale. It got people kind of back to square one of thinking about, hey, let's get back on the job, all that good stuff. So I think it was helpful. All right, let's talk about Mike building and getting this ranchero working. The first thing I thought when I saw the car working, the very first thing I thought was load up the containers in the back of the car, tie them down, and go to the river. Joey apologizing was great. I was glad to see that. It probably took a lot of courage to come to a whole group like that. Yeah, I'm sure it did. The bees. I know that was just silly. That was the first thing I thought when he got the ranchero working. I was like, I kind of like the idea of him taking the car apart. However, I thought it took away some of the protection. Okay, and then I started wondering. I'm like, why is he so bent on having another vehicle? Okay, why do you guys think? Let's vote on this. Well, let's talk about this. Why do you guys think that Mike wanted another vehicle so bad? Why couldn't we just stay with the original plan of getting the truck running and everybody defending the truck? Why is it so important to Mike to get that other vehicle running? and use precious resources. Okay, because you only have like what, 5, maybe 10 gallons of gas. Why? Did he apologize the way to deal with moving forward? If not apologizing, it's worthless. All right. That had me laughing my tail. You talking about the bees had you laughing your tail off? Hey, Three Musketeers Homestead, how you doing? He did apologize. Okay. I don't think it was worthless because he admitted he was wrong and said he would never do it again. All right, cool. So, why do you guys think that Mike is trying to get this vehicle working so bad? Why is that such a priority for him? Oh, here's the scene. Here's the scene we've been talking about right here. Where Joy is going out. Joy is really he is cursing. He is cursing Morgan and Amy out. He is cursing. It's like beat. Oh, I see what you're talking about, Tara. Amy did jump back at him, and he did kind of put his hands up just to defend himself, and it did kind of look like a hit. It did. It from me watching it did kind of like a hit. The second vehicle is a good plan B in case something happened to the truck. But how would you ever be able to get everybody on that second vehicle? I mean, you're talking about 10 people. I mean, I guess they all could fit. They just wouldn't be able to carry anything. Okay. All right, so he was outside clowning with the car. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I did stay up late last night. I apologize, guys. He got this ranchero working, and he's out there acting a fool in his car, and he runs into or knocks over the boat where the bees are, and you see him running into the warehouse. Um, yeah, I'm just watching. I'm rewatching this scene all over again.
Let's go ahead and just go right back like nothing happened. I think it's a security issue.
Since we're talking about security,
Yeah.
I find it very important right now
Yes.
to bring up the fact that I do not feel safe with the 10 people.
With the
I
pin
call
10 people
family.
I call family, you do not hit another person. It was funny. All right, probably use less fuel than the large truck. Yeah. Uh, it was a good recon vehicle too. Okay, true. But he was not wrong, so there is no reason to apologize unless he's explaining why he snapped. You can't promise you won't have the same reaction if people are probably going to do the same thing. I agree with that. That caused you to snap. Yeah. Such a stressful situation. I don't like her attitude. Whose attitude you don't like? You talking about Allison or Amy or Morgan? Whose attitude do you not like? But he's admitted he knew the way he reacted was wrong. He wasn't wrong for reacting, but he did in fact overreact pretty badly. He did. Look at his face though. I mean, they're right. He is going. He is like. Look at his face, y'all. You can tell he.
I pulled her in to close the gate.
You can tell he is pissed. Look at it. You can tell this is so serious for Joey. That's the part where he was like, "You 23-year-old, no life experience having," and it was an explicitive. I don't know what that explicitive was. This dude is freaking out. Rightfully so, though. I such a stress and don't like her attitude, but he admitted, okay, cool. Caught up on all of the chats. Well, guys, do y'all have anything else as far as this episode is concerned? Pointing aggressively. Yeah, I mean, he's mad. I mean, he's going off. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen Mike go off like that. And Mike even Mike even said he's like, yeah, Joey's had it. He's snapping even more than I normally do. Joey is hot. Yeah, Joey is real hot. But you know what? I can understand why he's so upset because he feels, and you got to understand where he's coming from. He feels that they, not only put their security in jeopardy, they put his security and everybody else in the colony security in jeopardy. So I mean, I can understand where he's coming from. It's like everybody forgot what happened the first day they were there. I mean, it is like they forgot. They forgot they were attacked. They forgot that Andre just came by. They forgot that Liz just stole from them. So I don't know. Oh, Mike saying a cup of rice isn't enough to do hard work on. Understandable. One cup of rice is barely enough to sustain someone, but let's do a manual labor. Well, I agree. But what were they gonna do? They went out last week trying to find more food, and what I really don't understand. This is what I don't get. You have now two working vehicles. Okay, you have people who are prior military, ex-convicts. What I don't get, I mean, you got some bad. I ain't gonna say. I want to say some bad A's in this group. You got some folks that can handle their own. How about that? I still, to the life of me, do not understand why they don't have no water. Okay, I just don't get it. They're really starting to feel the lack of food now. Yes, they are. Um, and after 50 something days, you do want to eat, and you do get cranky, and you do get irritated, and you do want to, as Christina would say, eat somebody. And they're probably feeling the hunger at this point. They're probably feeling the hunger all the time. They're probably in ketosis, and then again, they can't shower. They're not washing their hands much. They're not clean, so that's making it even worse. Oh, you guys are right. Diane was helping with the gasifier. I didn't even notice that the first few times I watched it. I think I watched this episode like 4 or 5 times. I didn't know she was helping that, but she was. I see her lifting stuff, and she's doing her thing. What do you guys think of Diane? We don't get much of her story, but we know she's John C's wife. She's interviewed like one time this episode. What do y'all feel about Diane? Is she like the rest of the ladies? Because a lot of you guys don't like the ladies in the group. I absolutely love Leilani. Okay, y'all can't say anything bad about Leilani. Anybody say anything bad about Leilani, you got to come through me, and we got to fist fight. I'm in love with Leilani. That's my girl. Amy, nah. Allison, nah. Who's the other woman? Oh, Diane, nah. Leilani, oh yeah. Leilani is my pick. That. I go to war with Leilani. She'll probably get you killed though because she got too much heart. Her heart is just too big. And see, here's Joe the Trader. So Joe the Trader, and this is what I don't understand. Why don't they have a perimeter where somebody just can't come right up and knock on their building? I don't get that. That's not. I'm not getting that. I like Diane so far. She helped out from day one. She did. She was in there cleaning poop. Day one. She had been there 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes. She was cleaning poop already. I like Diane too. Cool. All right, guys. Did we miss anything? Have we covered everything in season 1, episode 9? Episode 10 is the last episode of this season, and we'll be doing that review next Saturday, same time. This is going to be a good one because this is going to be the finale. I kind of, because I've watched this before. I've been true to the fact. I have not gone ahead, not one time since we've been doing this together. I have not watched one episode before you guys were challenged to do so. And I would encourage you, when we do this again, I would encourage you to do the same. That way it gives you an opportunity to rewatch that same episode several times, and you can kind of pick it apart. Covered everything in your notes? Cool. Everyone needs a little joy in them. If you're part of this group and you piss Joey off, you might get a little joy in you because he might put his foot in your butt. This is the part right here I love, where Mike was like, "Yeah, Joe was just out of control, and he was even worse than me." And then Mike steps in, and you can even hear Mike tell Joey, he's like, "Joey, just leave, go away," And Joey's like, "Okay." I was so impressed with Mike stepping in between Joey and the traders and then negotiating like a champ. He redeemed himself with all his terrible negotiations. I agree. I totally agree. He rocked this episode. Mike rocked like a rock star. He was like, "Yep, nope, we're not doing." But did you guys notice how Joey? Listen to this. Joey was so crazy this week in this episode. Joey was fighting with the guys who had machine gun. They had rifles. Joey had a stick. Joey was in their face. That's how gone Joey is right now. That's how far gone Joey is. Joey is like, I am done with this. Y'all can kill me. Did anybody else notice that? Christina wants a little Joey. You want a little Joey? You want a little goat? Did you guys notice that? Did anybody else notice that Joey was in the faces of the traitors, even though they had guns and he had a little stick? Okay. Oh, here's the part. Here's the part that Tara hates. Here's the part Tara hates. Tara, there's your girl Allison bragging about getting the peanut butter. Look what they got though. Oh, you know what? This is good. Let's stop this. So they traded 2 solar panels, 2 tires, some salt, some baking soda, and 1 kiss. And they got 10 gallons of propane, which they needed to cook with. They got 5 gallons of gasoline, 20 gallons of water, which they needed, a pound of beans, and some peanut butter. I think they did excellent in this trade. Because the solar panels are not, they're not going to be useful here, in another week or 2 because they're going to be on the road. They can't take them with them. Yeah, Joey was overboard. Yeah, buddy. Christina wants a little Joey. Sad faces and laugh out loud. Christina, how's your new friend doing? I think I'm more sensitive to that because I've had to deal with so many females using their blonde power to dump their work off on my husband over and over. That's just the way it is, Tara. That's just the way it is. It is. That's just the way it is. Okay. So anyway, all right, guys. I'm gonna y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and check on them and see what's going on. I'll be right back. All right, so I think we have covered everything. His bosses make him do the work just because they cry to the bosses. When I was in the military, okay, you guys, you know what? You guys get more military stories than I've ever told in my life. When I was in the military, I had this one young blonde. She just happened to be blonde. I didn't notice that until just now. And I didn't know there was a such thing as blonde power until this episode. But apparently it works because I did have this one little sailor that was one of my subordinates. And when she came into the ship, she always was at sick bay. Always. I mean, she was always in medical. And she always had some I can't work chit. And that's what we call it. We call it chits in the military. And they end up promoting that girl to my rank, and then she eventually, went past me. I got out from the Navy by then. But it was amazing to me when we were on ship how women could get away with so much more that we men couldn't. Well, he's supposed to be extra sweet. From what you shared with me, he's supposed to be extra. Oh, and you know what? Christina, when we came back from vacation, your package was at my house. I just opened it up yesterday, and 2 things. 1, thank you for the card. The card was so sweet. 2, your seal on your product, you might want to revisit that because it ended up leaking through the package. Okay. Not bad, but I don't know if I know you probably didn't realize that, so you might want to have to try to reseal or redo it, from where you're doing it. some kind of way in the ship, and I think it I don't know if it got too hot or what, but just so you know, okay. But yeah, your friend's supposed to be extra, extra sweet. You deserve it. Don't you deserve a sweet person in your life? Don't we all deserve to be treated nicely? Don't we all? Okay, so before we end, let's talk about this Chinese flu that is in the United States now. And is it a possibility? Is it a possibility this could turn into the? Okay, first of all, how many of you guys have seen World War Z and I Am Legend? Because when I hear what's going on, those are the first two movies I think of. I don't know why, and probably more I Am Legend than World War Z, but it puts me in the mind of both of them, simply because this is one of those situations that could really spread. Okay, we watch. We're so crazy. Last night we went out to dinner, and on our way home last night, I was like, "Hey Jennifer, you want to watch Contagion?" I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie, Contagion. I think that's the name of it, or Contagia. Came out in 2011. It's really good, really really good. But it shows how disease can just spread, and it knocked out so many people. But I mentioned that because the Colony season 1 is exactly what's going on right now. It is a mock simulated situation of a pandemic that has wiped out 90% of the world. Okay, so anyway, yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I was able to let you know. Haven't seen either. Oh God, you haven't seen World War Z or I Am Legend? Okay, so you gotta watch I Am Legend. That's a movie. Will Smith is in it. Amazing movie. Amazing. It's a zombie movie, but it has so much meaning, especially in the end. So you gotta watch that. So write those down, Terry. You gotta watch that. You gotta put those on your must-watch list. World War Z. I Am Legend. We probably watched that. We watched World War Z about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we watched I Am Legend. We probably watch I Am Legend every 6 months. Let me see here, and then Contagion. Contagion, you got to watch too. There should be families, and okay. Third Horseman in the Apocalypse. Welcome to the New Age. Yes. They said a computer simulation, hold on, showed more people dying from this Spanish flu in 1918. There's a game out. Oh God, what is that game called? It's a game out, and Jennifer and I both used to play it, where you can take a disease and you can spread it via mice, birds, animals, all that. And the whole goal of the game is to wipe out the planet. I mean, literally. It's a pretty cool game too. I forgot. I'm gonna get the name of that for y'all. Let's see here. They haven't been taking any pandemic precautions in the show. It's like they've forgotten the entire premise of the show. I'm okay. So the backstory of the show is the pandemic has already happened. So we're like 6 months, 8 months after the fact, where 90% have died. But you're right, they're not taking any precautions at all. They're on my watch list. I just haven't gotten around to it. I can understand. Been rewatching The Witcher. I keep hearing that it's so good. Pandemic, also Plague Inc. What is Plague Inc? I think we started watching that the other night. One of them. It's on Netflix. I can't remember what it was, but I fell asleep on it. I used to be obsessed with that game. Almost impossible to infect. Madagascar. I know. What's the name of the game, Tara? Yeah, I played that game a whole bunch. I don't know why I was trying to kill the whole planet, but yeah, I was obsessed with that game. And Jennifer really was. Every time I looked up, she was playing it. I'm like, chick, you need to chill out. You need to take a break and go to counseling or something, because she was just on it. What is the name of that game? Oh, it's called Plaguing. Okay. Oh, okay. That's the name of the game. There's a new show on Netflix. I think it's called Pandemic. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. Miss Grace actually sent me some articles yesterday. I was gonna come in yesterday and do a video, but I was busy getting vehicles ready. I was able to get all our vehicles inspected. I ended up having to do some work on my Prius. Y'all not gonna believe this. So the the auxiliary battery had gone dead, of course. So I kept trying to jump it. I kept trying to jump it, and then let the main battery charge it. It just wasn't happening. So I ended up having to take the time to undo all this. Now in a Prius, the battery is not like you pop the hood down. The battery's right there. No, the battery's in the trunk. You got to take the whole trunk apart, and you got to disconnect all this stuff to get to the battery. So I did all that. Took the battery on the inside, and this was after me trying to charge the battery while I was on the car. It wasn't happening. So I ended up doing all that, taking the whole battery, taking the whole trunk apart, pulling the battery out, taking it in the house, and I charged the battery. It took a charge. This is where everything goes south. So about an hour later, after I made sure it took a charge, I checked. I was like, oh yes, 12 volts, great. So I go and put the battery back in the car, putting all this stuff together. I put the terminals I put the terminal on the negative. I go to tighten this thing down, and this has never happened to me ever in life. I tightened down that last time, and I felt it go clunk. The terminal on the battery broke. Do y'all know how sick I was? Do you know how sick I was? And I needed this battery to work so I can get the car started, so I can take it to the shop so it can get inspected. So it's like 1 o'clock when this happened. So I called my mechanic. I was like, hey, man, do you have a battery I can buy for you? He's like, no. And he stutters really bad. Oh, my God. It took this like 2-minute conversation took like so long because it was like, no, but what I tell my and I'm like, customers, I'm like, God, this is going to take forever. Is to go, and then he has an accent. He has a real thick, heavy, broken English accent. So he stutters and he has an accent. And I love him. I'm not gonna mention his name. And he's not a subscriber. But if you are, you stutter. And I love you. Okay. So he's like, what I tell my customers, I was like, oh God, is to go and get a Honda. And when he said Honda, I didn't understand what he was saying. I go get a Honda. And I'm like, oh God, battery. He's like, yeah. So I was like, what kind of battery? And I finally understood what he's saying. He's saying Honda, Honda, but it didn't sound nothing like Honda. And just changed the post. I was like, oh, I don't really want to do all that work. So I called around a few places. This hybrid auxiliary battery on this car was going to cost me $233. But nobody had it in stock. They don't stock this battery. So I took my mechanic's advice. I went over to Walmart and I found one that was comparable. He's like, oh yeah, you can get one for like $60. I was looking for a $60 battery. They didn't have none. So I had to go back home because I found one that looked like it could work. So I had to go back home and measure the battery that I had because dumb me didn't think about taking the core up there with me. I could have saved myself $12. But then again, I didn't want to do that because I wanted to keep the battery just in case that one didn't work. I don't know what I was thinking. So now I got to take the core back, and then anyway, it was just amazing to me. I ended up working it out. I ended up having to change the terminals on the battery connection. Didn't have them. Had to go back to Walmart. I bought the wrong ones, but I ended up making those work. And took it up to the shop. Boom, passed inspection with flying colors. No biggie. I already have a buyer for that car. The van passed with flying colors. We're actually gonna give that to a family who needs it. We're gonna be a blessing. Don't they have a book where you can look up your car model and find out? Let me tell you about this book. At my Walmart, there's a little digital thing that you can click on, and it'll tell you. Well, it was working, but the centerpiece where you actually select, some idiot had either broken it or damaged it to the point where you couldn't select. So I was going through I can go through the selections. So it would be like make, model, year, blah, 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 but I couldn't select anything. So yeah, we have those, but it wasn't working. Walmart has good car batteries cheap. That's where I used to get ours. Yes, I mean, I got excuse me. I got a pretty decent battery. Yeah. So I ended up having to go back home, measure the battery. I should have brought it back with me, but I didn't. I'll take it back sometime this week. Go get my cord charge. It's $12. I got a video game console tray I got to take back too. I don't have a receipt for it, so I'm sure they're gonna start acting silly. Even if they give me a store credit, I don't care. But yeah, that's what I did all day yesterday. So I took it up to the shop. It passed. I have a buyer for that car, but you know what? After driving it home, and I had a tire that kept going flat, so I was having to blow it up every time I would get ready to drive it or whatever. So I went and got a new tire put on it, and I'm driving my car back home. I hop on the interstate because, of course, I got a good inspection sticker. Now I can act a fool. I floor this thing going up the ramp. Now this is a Toyota Prius. You wouldn't think this car has any power, but when it's in battery mode and it's torquing off that battery, that thing gets up and moves. So I floored it just to kind of blow out the engine a little bit. I was like, this car drives. So I have forgotten how good that car drove. And it's an 06. It has 168,000 miles on it. And I know I can probably drive it for another 100,000 before I have any more problems. I've changed out the hybrid battery. Now I have a new auxiliary battery, have a new tire, and there's nothing wrong with this car. So I'm like, dang, do I really want to get rid of this car right now? Because then if I get rid of both of my cars, I don't have anything. Jennifer has a car. But if I get rid of both of mine, so I'm at a dilemma right now because I'm like, I can't expect to get anything new if I don't get rid of the old. But these cars are paid for. And I refuse to have another car payment. I just save my money up and I go to the auction if I choose to buy something else. But I'm like, this car's already paid for. What are you thinking, Roger? So anyway, that's just my thought process. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for always supporting. I truly appreciate you. And we probably, if we do another Saturday live this evening, it'll be later because Jennifer and I we have a movie date with some friends of ours. We're going to go see Bad Boys this evening, and it'll coincide with the time that we normally come on. So if we come on this evening, it'll be late. It'll probably be like 7 or 8 hour time after we get in from the movies. And so anyway, thank y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. And always send you guys some love because I love you. And I appreciate you. And we got out of here. Y'all got anything else? If not, we are done. Oh, I know I was going to show you guys and tell you guys. You need to get this book, okay? Especially if you're trying to clean up your credit, do some things this year. We had 6 cars in 7 years. Tara, get this book, okay? Because this, Tara, Christina, anybody who's watching, get this book right here. Read this book and do what this book says. It will help you get to an 800 credit score if you're not already there, okay? I am rereading. As a matter of fact, I lost my, I must have loaned my copy to somebody. I rebought this book. I'm rereading it again. And I'm like, because I'm doing some stuff this year. Anyway, thank y'all. Talk to y'all later. Y'all be good.